2021 is almost coming to an end. Before Seoul Lounge kicks off the Year in Review episodes, I'll be talking about 2D music projects, not necessarily about the ones that were launched this year, but of those that are unique, managed to release quality music in 2021, and that I believe thoroughly deserve your attention before the end of the year. Let's kick off this episode of Seoul Lounge. Welcome to Seoul Lounge, I am your host Vanessa, and today's topic is 2D music projects you should be following in 2021. After a couple of heavy episodes, it's time to relax a bit and cover something equally interesting, however less complex. It's time to put the spotlight on the 2D music projects I believe you should be following in 2021. This is not an episode about new projects launched in 2021, but the projects that deserve your love this year and the coming years. Let's talk a bit about each project, its music and cast. The first 2D music project you should be following in 2021 is Dig Rock. If you're into rock music and like it to be raw and exciting, while still exploring completely different twists to the rock genre, Dig Rock is the thing for you. Dig Rock is a 2D rock music franchise created by Team Entertainment in 2019. The franchise branches out from the drama CD series Mint Leap. This is a mixed media project that incorporates music and drama CDs, focusing heavily on character development while still delivering high-quality shredding rock tunes time and time again. As of 2021, the Dig Rock franchise has 3 rock bands in its lineup, all of different backgrounds and with a unique sound to them. In this franchise, only the Seiyuu cast as the vocalists perform the songs. There are no character songs. Ruby Leopard is a popular rock band within the franchise's universe. It is fronted by Akane, voiced by Makoto Furukawa, and counts with guitarist Kurono, voiced by Kaito Ishikawa, bassist Mashiro, voiced by Takuya Sato, and drummer Haiji, voiced by Natsuki Hanae. Their sound lends a lot of elements from grunge and hard rock, with their bass being the prominent instrument in their songs. Their rock sound is aggressive and powerful, but still with a lot of opportunities to be melodic and emotional. Booming vibrato-filled vocals by Makoto Furukawa overflow with charisma and a tiny bit of allure to add the final touches to this band's imposing and cool sound. Impish Crow is an indie rock band fronted by Tsugumi, voiced by Yuma Uchida, with guitarist Toki, voiced by Takuya Guchi, bassist Mitsuru, voiced by Wataru Hatano, and drummer Hibari, voiced by Shinosuke Tachibana. Their sound is heavily rooted in power pop, with some transitions to punk pop and hard rock. You can expect fast-paced guitars, intense drums, and a youthful vibe to come from their music. On top you have Yuma Uchida showcasing his rock frontman skills and confidence. And in 2021 the franchise welcomed a new rock band, Hound Roar. Hound Roar is a rock band fronted by Hibiki, voiced by Toshiyuki Toyonaga, with guitarist Shoma, voiced by Ryohei Kimura, bassist Toya, voiced by Hikaru Midorikawa, keyboardist Shion, voiced by Yuichiro Umehara, and drummer Sogo, voiced by Takashi Kondo. Hound Roar has an acid jazz sound with rock, soul, and funk into the mix. That band has clear influences of Jamiroquai spread all over their repertoire. And on vocals they have Toshiyuki Toyonaga, the vocal chameleon among Seiyuu that easily grasped the complexity of Hound Roar's sound and quickly made the songs his. Since its launch in 2019, the Dig Rock franchise has made sure to showcase unique bands, rich drama tracks that explore the world and characters in the franchise, as well as the music itself that is unique to each band. From Ruby Leopard's aggressive hard rock to Impish Crow's exciting power pop and Hound Roar's acid jazz rock sound, those coming across the project are in for an incredible ride filled with high-quality rock music, shredding guitar solos, amazing drum fills, punchy slap bass lines, and 3 versatile vocals in Makoto Furukawa, Yumo Uchida, and Toshiyuki Toyonaga, 3 of the best singers among male seiyuu. As far as 2D rock music projects go, this one is currently my favorite due to the sheer consistency in the instrumentals and quality on vocals. Perfection Noise. In 2020, and also part of Team Entertainment, Perfection Noise was launched. Perfection Noise follows the lives of Noise Nova's members from how they came to be as a group, their individual struggles, their want to be stars, and their interactions with you, the listener. This is a franchise that, in good Dear Vocalist fashion, blends music with situation drama CD. The formula, although overdone, is actually pretty interesting for this group, as each member has a really strong, rich background developed right off the bat with their first solo CD, and as far as group drama tracks go, you can follow everything as their manager. The project is published by Spica, sub-label part of Team Entertainment, and at its core, it has one group, Noise Nova. Noise Nova is a group with a hybrid sound that blends the danceable touch of EDM with the groovy twist by hip-hop, but there's also rock, R&B, and ballads elements found in their music, sounding unlike any other 2D group out there. Another unique thing this group has is its formation, heavily following the K-pop or J-pop idol formation style, with centers, leader, lead vocals, sub-vocals, rappers and sub-rappers. As such, Noise Nova is dubbed a dance and vocal unit. Noise Nova has a double center formation that takes advantages of the faces and powerful voices of Narumi and Sena, which is to say, Shoya Chiba and Soma Saito. Both are the lead vocals, with Narumi, voiced by Shoya Chiba, being the star of the group, whereas Sena, voiced by Soma Saito, is the group's ace and dance expert. At the same time, Chisato, voiced by Ryohei Kimura, and Akito, voiced by Kaito Ishikawa, have sub-vocal and sub-rapper duties, supporting the 2 main vocals in their performances. Chisato, voiced by Ryohei Kimura, also has leader duties. This is actually the first time this sort of dynamic was embraced by a 2D music project, easily making it sound closer to the real thing than just a fictional group. Perfection Noise's music is far from perfect, result of a lot of experimentation with the multiple music genres that are at the core of the group's sound, with a couple of instances of issues with sound mixing. Those could be found in Noise Nova's debut song True Place, as well as Narumi's Deep. However, from that point on, the franchise polished their mixing, and Sena, Chisato and Akito's solo songs were at a really good high level that deserve your full attention. It is worth mentioning that this franchise, although having an idol group at its core, it strays a lot away from the sound that most 2D idol groups have. Even in the solo songs by some of the characters, you find music that isn't as common to find. R&B ballads, loungy EDM, and old-school noughties J-pop marked the franchise's sound as sonically unique and unpredictable, something that makes me incredibly excited for what the franchise will hold in the future. In 2021, the franchise released Chisato's Achromatic and Akito's Down to Zero, 2 of the most intense pop tunes I've heard this year. The franchise released as well an original soundtrack album featuring all songs used in the drama parts of each CD, as well as compiled all songs released by Noise Nova and its members. Although it's been a while since the franchise has been active, I do look forward to what it can hold in the future. The fact that it is currently in pause means that it is the perfect time for you to check their music and surrender yourself to their unique hybrid concept. Enlight Tribe. And we are back to rock music. Enlight Tribe is a full-scale 2D rock music project by Movic with a big focus on character development. The focus in the story seems to not only be about the lack of freedom, but also a battle between classes, with the 3 bands part of its lineup representing that social stratification. In Enlight Tribe, only the vocalists of each band perform the songs. Recently, there was an attempt at bringing other seiyuu performing alongside the vocalists, but as it is, that's not the focus in this project. Enlight Tribe counts with 3 bands in its lineup: Femme, Shifties, and Esmeralda. Femme is a 4-piece rock band consisting of vocalist Totoe Inumaki, voiced by Tomohiro Yamaguchi, guitarist Kyo Shikabami, voiced by Fumiyoshi Shioya, bassist Tetsuha Inashiro, voiced by Tetsuya Sumiya, and drummer Shishio Kuji, voiced by Toshinari Fukamachi. Femme dons an energetic punk rock, punk pop sound with brief verses and even shorter, catchy choruses in the mix. That band sound revolves around the bass. That is the instrument that charges forward, with the powerful drums complementing it. Additionally, if you're into fast-paced rock with shredding guitar riffs, Femme's music is that high-octane, never stopping to take a breather. On vocals is Tomohiro Yamaguchi. He may not be as well known among seiyuu fans as other vocalists, but he absolutely showed this quality in a set of 4 electrifying performances. Shifties is a 2-piece rock band consisting of vocalist Izumi Shizu, voiced by Shunichi Toki, and guitarist Azumi Shizu, voiced by Atsushi Tamaru. The band has a pop-rock sound, also extremely rooted on the bass. Once again, if you love a good bass line, Shifties also has the thing for you. Their sound has a good balance between pop rock and jazz, being at times youthful and at others quite mature in its vibe. This duality makes their sound unique in this franchise and opens up opportunities for Shunichi Toki to showcase his vocal range. Esmeralda is a 4-piece rock band consisting of vocalist Eiri Futabagi, voiced by Junta Terashima, bassist Yero Kagami, voiced by Yusuke Nagano, guitarist Hekiru Hoho, voiced by Kento Hama, and drummer Ramo Toride, voiced by Shohei Komatsu. Esmeralda hit everyone with the powerful rock sound with influences of Visual Kei metal and prog rock. Their melodies are slow-paced, their core is fast and intense. This is one of the most fascinating rock bands to be introduced to fans of 2D rock music. On vocals is Junta Terashima, one of the most reliable baritones among seiyuu and always a treat to listen to in whichever project he's cast in. He showed he can rock the stage with 4 impressive performances. The franchise was announced in 2020 but only kicked off activities in 2021, with each band releasing 2 CDs including music and drama tracks. For rock fans, this is a fantastic 2D music project, one that is underappreciated. However, with its quality both on the instrumentals and vocals, plus the unique identities for each band, not to mention the consistency across all 2 CDs each band released, I believe that Enlight Tribe is the hidden gem of 2021. Aopella. If there is one project that has been the talk in town in 2021, it's Aopella. The 2D mixed media project brought to the spotlight the beauty of the voice, with seiyuu performing for the very first time a cappella songs within a 2D music project. I've wrote an extensive piece on this project, so I don't want in any way to go deep on what makes this project incredibly refreshing and at the same time so good. Aopella is K-Lab's latest original multimedia project built on the themes of youth and a cappella. The project counts with 2 groups specialized in performing a cappella music and representing 2 fictional schools. Lil Happy and Fame have completely different approaches to a cappella music, counting with unique lineups to suit those. And that's exactly in this point that there were plenty of surprises for me, as well as some I told you so about the quality that some seiyuu have as singers, despite being criminally underrated. What almost all seiyuu part of this project showed is that they do not need background music to sound good. They are the music. The franchise has 2 groups. Lil Happy is the upbeat, crystal clear and incredibly delicate a cappella group comprised mainly of tenors and baritones. Their music gives off a youthful vibe that fits really well with the whole concept of this project. Listeners will find on vocals Ryota Osaka, Ryohei Kimura, Tetsuya Kakihara, Ken, and Tomoaki Maino. Fame is the R&B-ish a cappella group. They do have instances in which they channel barbershop a cappella or even add a bit of gospel to their performances, which makes them, at least for me, the most exciting group in this project. Their lineup is packed with highly technical singers covering all vocal ranges: tenor, baritone, and bass, which leads to memorable performances with a lot of power, a rich bass sound with some sprinkles of allure on top. The group has Toyonaga Toshiyuki, Yuki Ono, Wataru Urata, Takuya Sato, Daiki Hamano, and Shugo Nakamura. This group has a perfect balance that makes them incredibly consistent. In 2021, both groups participated in 2 CDs, releasing 2 original songs per group, as well as covered several popular J-pop and J-rock songs that brought a lot of attention to this project. If there is a project that was buzzworthy, at least in the first half of 2021, it was Aopella. Tokyo Color Sonic. Another buzzworthy project in 2021 is Tokyo Color Sonic. The ambitious mixed media franchise launched by Sprout and Coloration features a star-studded seiyuu cast on top of its refreshing premise. This franchise counts with an 8-character cast, with characters split into 4 different body units of singer plus songwriter. With that being said, in each pair of seiyuu, only one actually sings while the other is a big presence in the drama parts included with each team CD. The franchise has 4 teams of singer plus composer. These present unique dynamics, and depending on the vocals and music genres present in each song, fans have gotten to experience exceptional performances. Team 1 consists of the face of the project, Arashi, voiced by Shoya Chiba, and Sora, voiced by Yuto Uemura. Team 2 consists of Yori, voiced by Soma Saito, and Haruhi, voiced by Yoshiki Nakajima. Team 3 consists of Toa, voiced by Gakuto Kajiwara, and Mirai, voiced by Ryohei Kimura. And Team 4 consists of Kairi, voiced by Shunsuke Takeuchi, and Kagura, voiced by Takuya Eguchi. Each team released a CD in 2021, and as a whole, the franchise released its theme song, Begin on Buddy, performed by the vocals of the franchise: Shoya Chiba, Soma Saito, Gakuto Kajiwara, and Shunsuke Takeuchi. This really is a dream lineup that I believe wasn't fully optimized in the songs that were released this year. And that's because most of the songs, despite being incredibly good, have a weird mixing that puts the vocals in the background or fighting for the spotlight with instrumentals on incredibly high volume levels. But you can't deny the quality on the vocal end, or how some songs were really good despite underwhelming mixing in the chorus, and at times even the verses. There's a lot of potential for this project and lots of good ideas going on. But it does seem that although Tokyo Color Sonic has been attracting attention on social media, that hasn't translated at all to their CD sales that have been completely underwhelming. At its core, the project has the potential, the cast, and the interest to be big. Argonavis from Bang Dream. This is one of the biggest and most buzzworthy 2D rock music projects going on in the past couple of years. Bushiroad has managed to have a nice balance between their focus on the domestic and international parts of the fanbase for Argonavis from Bang Dream. That alone made for the exposure and thus engagement with all things from this franchise to skyrocket. The rock music in Argonavis from Bang Dream goes from ska to electro rock, pop rock, visual kei rock, and punk rock. There's a different style and band that will suit both newcomers to rock music as well as longtime fans of the genre and its subgenres. I have a soft spot for Phantom Iris and Gyroaxia, but really, if I had to pick a favorite band, it would be Phantom Iris. It's so rare to see visual kei rock so well represented in 2D music projects. or even on a live setting with Arthur Lounsbury completely in character. So what started with curiosity from my side to see if they could match the quality of Medicode, from the pioneer to the Visual Kei rock project Fly Me project, ended up in a fascination for their music and performances. Gyroaxia is an absolute monster of a punk rock band. Their sound is aggressive, intense, and made to be appreciated on a live setting. Once again, it is rare for 2D rock bands to embrace an edgy, hard-hitting, and at times violent rock sound, and that's because most fans of 2D music don't like rock music that isn't close to pop. So Gyroaxia arrived at just the right time, with a sound that I love and with impressive performances by Jin Ogasawara. For fans of pop rock music, the franchise's flagship group, Argonavis, is a perfect fit. If you're into ska music, which is a mix of rock, jazz and reggae, Fujin Rising is going to impress you. And of course, if your thing is more of a glitchy, disruptive brand of rock, Epsilon Phi will cover you. All bands have grown a lot in 2021, with their vocalists finally showcasing a high level of comfort in their roles and with the music gradually improving its quality. Dear Vocalist. Extremely popular in Japan while completely underappreciated internationally. Dear Vocalist is one of the longest running 2D music franchises still alive and kicking. The franchise was launched in 2015 by Reject as a drama plus music franchise, including all music composed by Ron and lyrics by Daisuke Iwasaki, that you may know as Reject's CEO and resident lyricist to many of the music projects housed in this company. In 2021, all vocalists Ryodo, Joshua, Judah, Tsuyu, Momochi and A-Dash got their chance to release their first full-length albums, including songs voted by the fans as well as 3 new additions that, no matter which CD you choose to listen to, will make your jaw drop in awe and incredibly emotional at the same time. The franchise kicked off its activities with a cast of seiyuu that were up-and-coming stars. However, at the moment, Dear Vocalist has one of the most luxurious and star-studded casts within 2D music projects. On vocals, listeners will find Toshiki Masuda, Nobunaga Shimazaki, Soma Saito, Natsuki Hanae, Toshiyuki Toyonaga, and Ryohei Kimura. Right off the bat, the project has 2 vocal chameleons in its ranks, Toshiyuki Toyonaga and Soma Saito, as well as Toshiki Masuda's vast experience working in 2D music projects and the insane reliability and consistency by Nobunaga Shimazaki, Natsuki Hanae, and Ryohei Kimura. With this lineup, Ron has managed to make all bands and thus vocalists evolve and showcase different sides and skills over the years, culminating in a stellar set of entries in the Raving Beats CD series. Dear Vocalist keeps on improving the quality of the songs as well as the rich stories connecting you, the listener, and each vocalist. On top of all that, you have a star-studded cast that, time and time again, delivers outstanding performances. Now, with part of the franchise's repertoire available on streaming platforms worldwide, I hope more people end up finding this project, falling in love with the music, and perhaps it can be as big internationally as it is in Japan because it honestly deserves it. The music from all projects featured in this episode can easily be found on streaming platforms worldwide. If you're curious about any of the projects or even bands or groups within those, I invite you to check the Hand That Feeds HQ's website for reviews, news coverage, and even list features including songs by some of these awesome bands, groups, and 2D music projects. Some of the projects I talked about in this episode are fairly recent at the time I recorded this episode, basically having launched in 2021. Others are extremely popular among international fans, while others are massively popular in Japan, but have yet to spread their charms among the international 2D music fanbase. Then there are those projects that few people have been following both in Japan and overseas, but with a quality that can rival any other high-budget, star-studded 2D music project out there. These were just some of the 2D music projects that showed the most promise to me in 2021 and that I believe you should be following before the end of this year. Now tell me, which 2D music project do you believe everyone should be following? Let me know in the comments on YouTube, and remember, leave your comments as complex or as simple as they may be, and you can be featured on upcoming episodes of Seiyu Lounge. If you enjoyed this episode and don't want to miss the Hand That Feeds HQ's weekly mail Seiyu and music-related content, hit the subscribe button. I'll return next week with another episode of Seiyu Lounge. Thank you for listening, and see you guys around.